It doesn't matter if you were pulled over for no, listen to me. This is why we're hearing stuff all over in the news. It doesn't matter what you think. If a cop pulls you over, then you take the ticket for not wearing your seat.
Right out of the gate, this isn't just about a seatbelt anymore. This is about escalation. A simple traffic stop has snowballed into a felony case, and the judge is zeroing in on one thing: accountability. Legally speaking, compliance during a stop is critical. Even if you believe the stop is unfair, the courtroom is where you challenge it, not the roadside. But let me ask you this: how many situations spiral like this just because someone refuses to cooperate in the moment?
This is all over not wearing your seatbelt, and here you are in felony court, and you're still not taking responsibility.
I was pulled over because I was in a high. I stay in the area. I was pulled over because.
Hang on. Don't talk yourself out of this again. Because if you want to talk yourself out of it, we'll put it on the trial docket and we'll get it done in a few weeks.
From the moment this case opens, the room feels heavy in a way that doesn't come from shock, but from familiarity. This isn't chaos spilling out of nowhere. It's behavior that's been allowed to stretch too long, growing louder because it hasn't been stopped. You can sense that quiet confidence on the defendant's side, the kind that only forms when consequences keep missing their cue. But there's a
refused to go along with the deal because she didn't accept responsibility for the crime.
Uh-huh.
And then we came back and she did accept responsibility, so we replayed for the same.
Okay.
There was a different attorney involved on the first time, and then I was appointed.
She pled in May of last year. Was full deferred with Tom Burbank.
So nothing else was done as far as them talking to Miss Johnny about acceptance of responsibility?
The only thing Miss Johnny said, they called and asked her for her updated address, and that was it.
Okay. So, Miss Johnny, I'm going to ask you again, and I know we probably went through this before. First of all, you're Kirsten Johnny?
Yes.
And Miss Johnny, I want to make sure, because in that previously you said you didn't do it, you were forced to do it because of your financial.
This is the turning point, and it's subtle, but powerful. The defendant is trying to reframe intent as accident, but in legal terms, that doesn't erase responsibility, especially when actions escalate resistance. The judge is methodically boxing in the narrative, compliance versus defiance. And here's the real tension: does admitting partial fault help, or does it just expose inconsistency? What would you do in this moment? Double down, or fully own it?
You're forced to plea because of your financial situation, that it wasn't fair. And so tell me what your position is now.
I never really said I didn't do it. I said it was an accident.
Okay.
I still feel the same way a little bit.
All right.
I'm not gonna say I do feel the same way.
Now I understand, but you're not disagreeing that you didn't.
I said it was an accident. Somebody grabbing you by your foot. That's like somebody accidentally hit you in the back of your head. You're gonna have something that's normal.
Well, right, because you were not complying with what they told you to do to get out of the car, correct?
I was pulled over because I was in a high. I stay in the area. I was pulled over because.
Hang on. Don't talk yourself out of this again. Because if you want to talk yourself out of it, we'll put it on the trial docket and we'll get it done in a few weeks and let a jury decide.
I'm not trying.
Look at me. I'm actually trying to help you right now. Okay? If you had complied and just done what he asked you to from the very beginning of that stop, none of this would have happened. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yeah.
No, do you agree? Listen to the question. Do you agree with that statement or do you disagree with that statement?
I don't want to lie.
You don't like it, do you? You don't think he should have done that?
It's not that. I feel like we was pulled over for no reason. If you follow.
It doesn't matter if you were pulled over for no. Listen to me. This is why we're hearing stuff all over in the news. It doesn't matter what you think. If a cop pulls you over, then you take the ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. This is all over not wearing your seatbelt, and here you are in felony court, and you're still not taking responsibility for the fact that He said, hey ma'am, do this, and you said, I don't think you should have pulled me over, so I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and I'm going to lodge my foot against the door, and I'm not going to get out. I'm going to make you drag me out of my car, and then I'm going to kick you because you shouldn't have pulled me over in the first place. When all you had to do was get your ticket, go to JP court, and try to fight it there legally. But here you are in felony court for a second-degree felony instead. So do you want to try to tell that story to a jury, or do you want to accept some responsibility today?
I don't feel like going to trial.
You don't feel like going to trial. Well, there's two parts to that question. Do you feel like accepting responsibility?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think it would be a better idea next time you're pulled over to comply and just do what they ask you to?
Yes.
And Your Honor, just for the record,
At first, where the air tightens and that confidence starts to look less like control and more like miscalculation. 2. What stands out isn't volume or theatrics, it's restraint. The court doesn't need to raise its voice because the power dynamic is already settled. You can hear the patience thinning beneath the calm, not anger but resolve. Every pause lands heavier.
Miss Johnny did review the video with me in my office, so she is aware of what.
And here it is, the outcome that could have gone very differently. This is what's called a second chance in the legal system, deferred adjudication. No conviction, yet. But it comes with pressure, for years of strict compliance, where one mistake could flip everything into a felony record and prison time. The judge isn't just handing down a sentence, he's setting a test. So the real question is, will this be the wake-up call, or just another missed opportunity?
All transpired, she saw it.
Do you have any reason to believe she shouldn't be pleading to this from what you saw?
I do not.
So, you even saw how you acted. It's probably a good idea. All right. I'm going to find that you previously entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. I hope you prove me wrong on this because I really have some concerns that you're going to be able to be successful because you're not taking responsibility and you're not wanting to follow directions and things like that. And you're about to have 4 years of having to follow directions on probation. So I'm going to defer all proceedings for 4 years. You're ordered to pay a $500 fine. You're ordered to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. If you do that, this is a great opportunity today because you are not a convicted felon. You don't have that conviction on your record. And if you successfully complete it, follow all of the rules, you will never have a felony conviction. At the end of your probation, the case will actually be dismissed. The other side to that, though, and this is really important for you to understand, because we've had this conversation now so many times, I'm not likely to forget you. And you can ask anybody, and Ms. Holmes has known me for a long time. It's not usually good when I remember people, right? So if you violate your probation, you'll get brought back into court. You could be found guilty, which means you become a convicted felon, and I can sentence you to prison anywhere in the range of punishment, which is up to 20 years in prison for this. Do you understand? All right, I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, so you've waived your right to appeal. You need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation will go over your paperwork as soon as they're ready.
Okay, and you said that I'm not considered a conviction felon, but I was told that even though you say that, it's still going to be on my record.
So the arrest is on your record. The arrest will always be on your record. But so if you're asked a question on a, filling out an application for a job or something, if it says, have you been convicted of a felony, the answer is no. But if it says, have you ever been charged with a felony, or are you on probation for a felony, you are going to have to say yes to that. But the conviction part is still better than nothing, not having that conviction, right?
Yes.
Okay, have a seat in the courtroom. Watch for probation to call you up.
Every measured sentence closes another door. The defendant's posture tells a story words don't need to. The stillness, the forced composure, the realization that this isn't a room he dominates anymore. 3. Then comes the moment where reality catches up all at once, and you can almost see the math being done internally. Confidence turns into caution, caution into exposure. What makes this powerful isn't punishment, it's